Right.
All right. So then what well, no, I was going to say what crazy mattress run or something. I don't know what I was going to say, but that brings us to mattress running the numbers. So this week, who do we have for mattress running, Greg?
Yeah, we don't have a real mattress running topic. What we're going to talk about instead is Radisson. Radisson has come out with new award chart that's going to kick in in June, I think it is.
June, yeah. Sometime in June.
And yeah, and so it means some hotels go up in price, some hotels go down in price. It's kind of all over the map. And so we're going to discuss that. What is it a good idea? You can lock in current rates, I think, by booking your award stays now. And as you wrote, they're doing us a great favor of acting just like every other program anywhere in letting you get the price that you booked. But aside from that joke, is it a good idea to do it? Because some of those ultra luxe properties are going to be going up in price.
Yeah, well, did somebody just say ultra luxe when talking about a Radisson property? Slow down, Craig. Like the Country Inn and Suites that's going up to 75,000 points per night is not ultra luxe. Okay?
I meant that one
ultra
luxe property
in the Maldives. Somewhere. Yeah, the one in the Maldives, which isn't even actually, it doesn't even show up in the category changes. So
I saw you wrote that. That scares me. It makes me think it's off the charts, like literally off the charts.
It does kind of seem like that may be the case. I searched a whole bunch of individual dates. I searched longer stays and individual dates for like towards the end of the schedule next year, and I couldn't find any dates with availability. So I'm wondering what's going to happen with that too.
Like Marriott has that one property in the Seychelles, I think it is. That's also literally off the charts, where
North Island,
price it however they want. I'm afraid that might happen here too. So if you want that one, and if you can find availability, I think it's a no-brainer to try to book it now. If you know, it can line up with when you could go, right?
Right. And that place is available in May and June of this year on some days, but I couldn't find availability for next year, at least for any of the dates that I tried. But at any rate, there are places in the United States also that are going to go up. Now, I wrote a post that was pretty negative initially, and then I wrote a second post that was like, maybe it's not so bad in some ways. And, it really kind of depends on where you sit on the fence in terms of what you want to redeem for. But if you want to lock in some properties now, there are a lot of properties that are going up pretty significantly. I mean, some properties will double. Some properties are going up 60%, 68%, 67%, something like that. So relatively large numbers of points. And so you want to kind of look for some of those gems now if you can before they increase. I know that actually there was a reader who mentioned one in particular somewhere in Montana. And if you go to the post and you look through the comments, you'll find that they said there's one there that apparently the story is the owner didn't design it the way that Country Inn and Suites wants them all designed, decided to design it more individually. I looked at pictures online and it does look kind of neat. The lobby looks like a lodge you might anticipate staying in if you were going to Montana. And the rooms, they look like Country Inn and Suites rooms, but with a little bit more wood and, a little bit nicer than a Country Inn and Suites. So I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Maybe I'll make a speculative booking for sometime next year because I could do that now and lock in the current rate before it goes up. I think that one in particular is going from 44,000 points a night to either 60 or 75. I can't remember for sure, but going up quite a bit. So, it's one of those things that's like, catch 22. Is it worth booking them now? But I guess you got nothing to lose because as long as you pay attention to the cancellation policy, you should be able to cancel. My one bit of nervousness is what happens if you book something that's in the other program. And what I mean by that is the news lately out of Radisson has been they are splitting the program. So if you've missed that, they're splitting into Radisson Americas, which is going to be North, South America, Caribbean, and Radisson Hotels, which means Radisson rest of the world, Europe, Africa, Asia, Pacific, whatever. All of that stuff is the rest of the world.
Which is another flashback to one of our What Crazy Thing episodes, I believe.
It is. Making a recurrence here, Radisson. You enjoy making your appearances. So they're splitting up, and do you want to book something in Europe, for instance, right now? And maybe what happens if you cancel that later? Do your points go into the Radisson rest of the world program because the hotel was in Europe? Or do they go back to your Radisson Americas account because you booked it out of your Americas account? Or do they just disappear because you don't have an account in Radisson rest of the world yet? And so there's no place for them to go when you can't. I don't know. What do you think?
I think they'll be quarantined for 14 days before they come back.
At least 14 days. Who knows?
Yeah.
So yeah, do you have your
I don't have any opinion about that one. My guess is that'll be fine. That'll just transfer 1-to-1, and I don't think it doesn't really matter too much whether it ends up on the Radisson program or the Radisson Americas program, if they make it somewhat easy to move the points back to where you want them.
If they do. I'm a little bit doubtful because of the way that they said it. They didn't say, using our easy online instant transfer tool, or transfers will be instantly, blah, blah, blah. They didn't say that. They said using our cool new transfer method or whatever, whatever it was they said. So I'm skeptical and nervous about how slow that's going to be or how many steps it's going to involve.
Sure.
But I do have my eyes set on a couple of places. Somebody mentioned a nice Radisson Blue in Florida that's 50,000 points per night right now. I didn't know there was one there. I can't remember where it was, but it's in the comments of the post. And then the Country Inn and Suites Virginia Beach I've looked at before. Now, I haven't stayed there, but it's right on the beach. It's a Country Inn and Suites that's right on the beach, believe it or not. So maybe I'll lock that in for a couple of nights because I have a whole bunch of Radisson points. So maybe I'll do that. What about you? You get your eyes on any particular properties?
I don't. I've had this kind of problem with Radisson for a long time of having all these points and not being too excited about any of the properties. There is, of course, I mentioned before, the Maldives property. I just don't see myself going to the Maldives for quite a while, and so I'm not ready to try to lock that in. I like the Radisson Blue Chicago, and it's a very nice property, but I don't have immediate plans to go. I don't have a guess as to when I'll go to Chicago again. And if I do, there's so many other good chain properties, and I've got all these certs flowing out of my ears from all of them that get rolled over year after year. So, it's not a great time for me to try to like figure out where to. So I don't think I will. I don't think I'll book any speculatively, but. So, there's not a lot that of Radisson properties within the United States that, at least I've been aware of that are sort of higher end.
Yeah, no, it's typically, for the most part, it's like Country Inn and Suites. So they're generally going to be your, roadside or just outside of the city or a little bit out of the way, kind of, limited service properties. Basically, what we were talking about before with Holiday Inn Express or, Hampton Inn or whatever else, same kind of stuff usually. Right.
So you have a few Radisson Blues that are nice. You have a couple Radissons that are like, I don't know if they're even nice, but
I stayed at the Radisson
expensive.
JFK, and I was like, do we want to get under the covers on this property? I don't know. Maybe just sleep on top of the comforter. I don't know. It was a little dicey.
Yeah,
dicey.
Yeah, and it's exactly that. It's those New York properties that are expensive, and so you could theoretically get good value from, for example, those free night certificates that you can earn with the credit card. So I guess we don't really have any like other than the Radisson Blue. Oh no, you mentioned before, I think, the Radisson Blue in Minneapolis you liked.
Yeah, the one at the Mall of America I do like, but that's already top tier. It's gonna go up 5,000 points a night. I'm not gonna.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Look to book anything speculative there.
Yeah.
I do like that. It's fun because it's connected to the mall, so it's you come down the elevator and you're in the mall. So that's kind of fun if you enjoy going to malls. And I don't spend a lot of money in malls, but for some reason I enjoy going to the mall and walking around. So that has been kind of fun. We've stayed there a couple of times, and there's a Radisson Blue in Crete that's actually dropping in price that Travel with Grant had written about that I was interested in, didn't get a chance to stay in. So I'm kind of excited about that. So maybe I'll make some speculative bookings for properties in the US, but if none of them work out, I'll be happy to pay a little bit less and maybe check out that Radisson in Crete at some point.
You said that's dropping in price.
It's dropping,
so we should wait.
You should wait
and book that.
Because they're not going to give you an automatic refund. Right. Yeah. I mean,
right, of course they would.
You're in luck. You can get the cheaper price, but they're not going to give it to you automatically. You're going to have to see. And if there is availability, they say, then you can just cancel and rebook yourself. You can do all the work yourself to get your refund.
It's very nice of them.
If there isn't availability, then you can call them and ask them for a refund. So
well, actually, I mean, not all chains would necessarily even do that. So that's good. That's possible.
Yep.
All right.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it basically sums it up for Radisson, doesn't it?
It's not all bad, but it's
Beats
not
camping.
so good.
Beats camping. All right. So,
all right. Time for the main event, I think.
It is.